Hey, good morning. This is Danny with the Christian Metal Ministry, and I'm glad to have you joining us here today. And today, I'd like to do a communion meditation and chance for each and everybody to partake in communion. Our theme is the power of Christ's sacrifice in a metal-driven world. As we gather around the Lord's table, we come face to face with the greatest act of sacrifice in the history of existence. The cross wasn't clean. It wasn't polished. It was brutal. It was bloodstained. It was a battle fought and won, not with steel and fire, but with the innocent blood of the Lamb. This is no empty ritual. This is not just bread and juice. This is a declaration of war against sin, a remembrance of the price paid for our soul, and a proclamation of the victory that echoes throughout eternity. Matthew 26:26 says, "As they were eating, Jesus took some bread and blessed it. Then he broke it into pieces and gave it to the disciples, saying, 'Take this and eat it, for this is my body.'" See, the body of Christ was beaten, bruised, and torn. He bore the weight of every sin, every struggle, every failure we have ever known. He didn't walk away. He didn't call down legions of angels to stop the suffering. He embraced it because love demanded it. As we take this bread, let's remember, this is the body that carried the cross, the body that was shattered so that we could be made whole. This is the sacrifice that makes us victorious. As we partake of the bread, take and eat. In Matthew 26, it reads on and says, "And he took a cup of wine and gave thanks to God for it. He gave it to them and said, 'Each of you drink from it. This is my blood, which confirms the covenant between God and his people. It is poured out as a sacrifice to forgive the sins of many.'" Now, the blood of Christ wasn't just spilled. It was poured out deliberately, willingly. Every drop screamed, "It is finished." The blood of Christ covers us, washing away every failure, every moment of regret, every time the darkness tried to claim us. This is our anthem of redemption. When we drink this cup, we declare that we are not our own. We have been bought with a price. We are covered. We are cleansed. We are set free. Now, take the cup and partake. As we partake of communion today, let this not be a whisper of tradition, but a roar of remembrance. The cross was violent, but it was love in the rawest, most powerful form. The empty tomb declared that love has won. We walk out here today not as defeated souls, but as warriors of the kingdom, covered by his blood, strengthened by his sacrifice, and fueled by the power of his resurrection. For every time that you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are announcing the Lord's death until he comes again. We take communion today not in silence, but in expectation, because the same Jesus who gave his body and blood is coming back. And when he does, we will stand in victory, washed in the blood, singing the eternal anthem of the redeemed. Let's live like we've been set free.